Not sure if you guys are aware of everything that's been going on between Candace Owens and the Daily Wire, but the cliff notes are basically the Daily Wire fired Candace Owens, mostly, I think, probably for her takes on Israel versus Palestine, but also in part because she said she would stake her entire professional reputation on the conspiracy theory that President Macron's wife is actually a man. And the Daily Wire promptly fired her after she made that statement. So not sure if that was the real reason or if they were looking for some reason to fire her because they had been so irked by her anti-Israel sentiments as of late. But in any case, after that had all happened, Candace Owens was like, yo, I would love to do a debate with Ben Shapiro and kind of hash everything out. And Ben Shapiro was like, sure, do it on the Daily Wire. And Candace Owens was like, haha, no. Understandably so, right? Because, you know, she left, or well, I don't know if she left, but she wasn't really big friends with the Daily Wire folks anymore. So she didn't really want to do anything that might possibly be controlled by them. She also didn't want her words taken out of context. Like, there are a million reasons why one would not want to have their show or have their appearance criticizing the Daily Wire be hosted by the Daily Wire. So they were like, okay, yeah, let's negotiate about this all behind the scenes after like a few back and forths. And so, allegedly, they've been behind the scenes working on this debate. Well, it turns out that behind the scenes, the Daily Wire was doing a little bit more than that. They conspired to get a gag order against her. So this kind of, and they succeeded, by the way, but this kind of nullifies the point of any debate because it's quite clear now that, Candace Owens is not going to be able to speak freely about the entire, situation between her and the Daily Wire, even if they do end up doing a debate. And here's the article from The Independent. A conservative news site co-founded by Ben Shapiro secretly obtained a gag order against its former host, Candace Owens, even while publicly negotiating to debate her, according to a new report. The Daily Wire, which ended its relationship, very sad breakup, with Miss Owens on March after clashes over Israel and anti-Semitism, has repeatedly said it wants to organize a debate between her and Mr. Shapiro. But on Thursday, the veteran journalist Glenn Greenwald reported that the Daily Wire had persuaded a private arbitrator to ban Ms. Owens from publicly disparaging the company, citing her demand for debate as an example. That's crazy that they're using that as like an example when it's literally something that they said, hey, let's go do. Not just Ben Shapiro, but Jeremy Boring agreed to this too. So it's kind of crazy to me that publicly they're like, yeah, let's do the debate. This is awesome. And then behind the scenes, they're like, we need to get rid of Candace Owens because she wants to do a debate with us. Like, what? Homie, you guys wanted a debate too. That's what you guys said. It's crazy. Continuing with the article here. The company reportedly told the arbitrator that while it did not object to healthy debate in principle, her method of requesting and negotiating it constituted a breach of her contract. That's sure not how that's even a case. She's not under contract anymore. They cut her from the contract. That doesn't make any sense to me. Hopefully Candace Owens is fighting this in court behind the scenes because that is preposterous. If the claim is that by asking for a debate in a specific way over Twitter, you violated a contract that you aren't under anymore because you got fired. Like, please, come on. The Daily Wire has ensured that the debate with Owens that they publicly claimed to want did not, in fact, take place, wrote Mr. Greenwald, who did not explain the source for his story. Well, it also should be noted that neither Jeremy Boring nor Ben Shapiro have come out to say that this claim is false. So, in my opinion, I think that means that this claim is true. I'm not doubting the veracity of Glenn Greenwald's reporting here. Any such debate would be in conflict with the gag order they obtained on Owens from expressing any criticisms of the site or of Shapiro. So she's not allowed to criticize Ben Shapiro anymore either, which is crazy. In response to Daily Wire, they did respond actually. My bad. In response to Daily Wire's co-CEO Jeremy Boring told Mr. Greenwald that it was, quote, inaccurate to the point of being false, end quote, without denying any specific facts. I am sure you can appreciate how fraught a high profile breakup like this is. For that reason, we are trying to resolve our issues with Candace Owens privately, he reportedly said. But they said the debate would be public. It's really looking like the Daily Wire CEO is lying here, which it's not new to them, unfortunately. Ms. Owens told Mr. Greenwald, "I wish I could comment on this, but I can't." End quote. I mean, that seems to corroborate what Glenn Greenwald is reporting. If she could report on that, she would. It marks the latest twist in the long dispute between Ms. Owens and Mr. Shapiro, which has seen both parties publicly insult and belittle each other since the start of the Israel-Hamas war last October. Yeah, and we kind of have gone through. We generally know all this already. This is kind of old news. The rest of the article goes through, padding the stats and bumping up the numbers. I get it, but I don't understand how, like, if you're a Daily Wire fan, I would love for you to hop into the comment section and try to defend this behavior. In part because I love seeing skilled human beings, excel at doing very difficult tasks. Like, I don't understand how you can defend the Daily Wire publicly saying, "Hey, Candace Owens, let's debate," privately trying to get a gag order so that she can't criticize you guys, and then publicly saying, "Hey, we were trying to resolve this privately," when all your public signals before were making it seem like you weren't trying to resolve it privately. That just is bad. And when you have a CEO who is being this dishonest, as well as Ben Shapiro, who, as much as he will love to tell you that he can't control anything that happens at the Daily Wire and he has no influence over anything that happens over the company, the fact of the matter is, as a co-founder, he probably does have a lot of pull with Jeremy Boring, and you could probably ask him to do pretty much anything that he wants. Now, of course, Ben Shapiro would probably respond by saying, "Well, I don't have to do everything. Jeremy Boring doesn't have to do everything that I ask him to do," but he probably will do the majority of what Ben Shapiro would want him to do if he just asked. They're good friends. I don't doubt that. That's just how it works. Being a co-founder means that you have a lot of pull and influence over the company, and that's the way that it should be. But, I don't understand how any fan of the Daily Wire can come away from this still trusting Ben Shapiro and still trusting Jeremy Boring when they have conducted themselves in such a deceptive way. Now, it could be possible or true that they've stopped negotiations about the debate and that they changed their mind about how they wanted to go about things. But, they still left the public impression that that's not what happened. And it makes them look duplicitous, and it's just not a good look. And I don't really pay much attention to Daily Wire's content, so I don't know if this has negatively affected their numbers. I'm quite sure that Ben Shapiro's views have remained the same. And honestly, I don't know why that would be the case. Unless you just don't pay attention to this drama and you're just ignorant of what's been happening. Stuff like this is what damages reputations. And I don't know how many times Daily Wire folks can get into scandals like this and end up on the losing side of things, for their fans to kind of wake up and be like, you know what, maybe the Daily Wire isn't the best place for me to go for, right-wing conservative, commentary. But it is what it is. The fans are going to do what the fans want to do. It's just kind of sad, to be honest.